All right, here we are. Happy Thursday, everyone. Man, this year is definitely for sure flying. So let's go ahead and continue to move on where we left off. We were talking about just listed, just sold mastery. And as we're gathering the audience, I'm going to encourage those of you that are joining us over on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook to come join us over on Zoom. So I'm going to be sharing the script today. I'm going to break down the script. We're going to even role play the script. So I want to make sure that you guys get the opportunity to see with what I'm sharing. Again, the Zoom ID information is there, so please come join us over on Zoom. And then a very quick announcement for those of you that are in the Central Valley, Central California. I'm going to be doing, as well as Lizette's going to be with NAREP today in Fresno. We're going to be having a speaking engagement. We're going to be talking about wealth building. So if you guys want to know just a little bit more about making more money, today's going to be definitely a good session to attend. All right, so let's go ahead and get to our notes. Just listed, just sold mastery. Again, this is one of my favorites. Why is it my favorite? Just simply because of the fact that I built my business out the gate because of this particular source. Very first year doing 42, second year did 86, third year did 101. And I'm going to venture to say probably about 80% of that was from door knocking and all from this script. So it is a very important script. I would challenge pretty much any coach that's out there in regards to knocking, or for that matter, just listed. Yeah, I would definitely say that I'm right up there, if not the number one agent. And yeah, that sounds egotistical, but sure. I'm going to come from a direction of experience, is where I'm coming from. So let's go ahead and continue to build where we left off yesterday. We've been talking about the consistency. We talked about creating a morning routine. We talked about the goals that we need to set so that we can achieve them. We talked about memorizing and internalizing. Yesterday, I talked also about creating a library of all these recordings, all of these scripts that we are recording. I want you to have a copy of them. It's the quickest, it's the easiest to learn them. Okay, so remember, what I want you to do is very simple. Just read the script. Hi, I'm looking for Joe. Hi, Joe. My name is Robert. I'm a local realtor. The reason I'm calling is I just listed a home for sale. It's right around the corner from you. And just go all the way down the script with all of them and have a recording, have a library of these recordings. The reason I want you to have a library of these recordings is because I want you to go back and listen to yourself. Yesterday, I broke down how to, number one, record, number two, how to speed it up, how to go away from just simply role playing 2 times last week to where now you can role play as many as, or at least practice the script 4, 5, or 600 times a day versus your 2 role plays from last week. And then that's a day. You multiply that times 5 over the course of the week, and you just do it 5 days a week. Well, now I'm practicing at 2,000, 2,500 times. Well, you practiced 2 times last week. Now, the purpose of that again is just simply to memorize it, so you can get to the point where you're not worrying about what you're saying. You're more worrying about with what you're gonna where you're not worrying about what you're gonna say. You're more worried about what they're saying, so that it gives you the opportunity to better respond. I'm going to go ahead and continue to pick up where I left off. I'm going to share the scripts today. We're going to break that down. Is there any questions, any comments, any concerns, anything of anything that I can address first before I continue on my notes? And if you do, feel free. Okay, so just jump right in. All right, so role play. Continuing on that topic, it is important that you do role play. Hey, I see people all the time that they try to shoot from the hip and it doesn't work. Okay, you get okay results. Yeah, I did last year. I did 11 deals. Cool, awesome. Kudos to you. My average commission is 15,000, so I made $175,000. Yay! I made a great living. Good for you. Okay, if that's what you want to do, awesome. But if your goal is to get to that next level, whether that's to double, triple, or even quadruple your income, the skills part of it is probably one of the biggest things that I can recommend. And one of the things, and I say this with all due respect to my good friend Robert Cedeno, who I have the benefits of coaching him and his team. When he and I first started, he was right around 80, 90 deals. He hadn't broken the 100 deal mark. And sure enough, last year, closing 176 transactions. And one of the things that we've been working on was skills. Now we're working on looking at alternative sources. And because of that, he's now on pace to do over 250 deals. But what I'm highlighting here or identifying is not the weaknesses that we have or the areas of opportunity that he has. Everyone has areas of opportunity, but the growth of that is because of the skills. Because as you may or may not know, using him as an example, and I could use other coaching clients, but using him as an example, does an amazing job of generating business in social media. The dude's getting 30 to 50 inquiries a day. Hey, what about that house? I'd like to know more information. I'm thinking about buying. I'm thinking about selling. I mean, just imagine where you had an influx of 30 to 50 potential maybes coming to you. Well, the challenge is that the closing, the skills, the how do I turn it overs, the I would listen to calls and they'd be like, okay, so you want to sell your home? Okay, great. So when do you think you want to get together? Oh, you want to wait until next year? Okay, great. Well, we'll just follow up with you and we'll let you know. We'll stay in touch with each other. We know what happens there, and what ends up happening there is a year later when they follow up, person already sold, they've already moved on, everything's already taken place. By being better skilled, it's the, well, what's stopping you from making the move now? Oh, you want to think about it. Great. Well, what is it that you're wanting to think about? What are you waiting for? Well, because of the interest rates. We heard that this, we heard that that, we heard this other stuff. I totally get it where you're coming from. Why don't we go ahead and address that? Let's get together, let's compare notes, and I'll share with you exactly what the benefit is doing of this now. Well, I wanted to talk it over with my wife. We're still kind of in the pondering process. Great. Talk it over with your wife. I just want to be able to provide the information for you. If it makes sense, great. It does. Great. We move forward. If it doesn't, that's okay too. Would it be better for us to do it over the weekend or should we do it maybe the beginning of next week? Beginning of next week? Yeah, not a problem. Again, don't feel any sort of obligation. Now you get in front of them and you explain to them the process. Oh, okay, yeah, I didn't really think about that, but we're not really ready yet. We still have to fix the home. We still have to do this and that. Great. Well, why don't you take your time? What I'm going to do is I'm going to start to begin some of the pre-marketing material and then we could just get your home on the market. What do you think? Maybe after 4th of July? Great. Awesome. So instead of it being a lost sale or a sale that ends up taking place in February of 2026, it ends up being a listing of July of 2025. That's what Skills does. We're not that good. I'm not that good where I'm going to convince somebody to buy or sell. Nobody is going to wake up this morning and I'm going to have a conversation with them. They're going to go, you know what? I haven't thought about this, but great. You're such a great salesperson. Yeah, I want to sell my house. It doesn't work that way. Think of yourself in your situation. Okay. Are you thinking about moving up? You thinking about moving down? Okay. How long have you been thinking about it? A month, 3 months, 6 months, a year, 2 years? Okay. Same thing. They're no different. Okay. Now, when you role play, let me continue on this topic and then we're going to share script here in about 5, 6 minutes. When you role play, always practice the one that just got away. Okay. Always practice the one that just got away and always keep it in a positive manner. I hear sometimes role plays and then it's the, hey, Bob, not interested. Okay. Well, that's fine, but it's okay to have some negativity, but don't role play the negative so much. Okay. You can do the, hey, Bob, yeah, what do you want? You can do that. Okay. But the moment you start going, not interested, no, take me off the list, blah, blah, blah. That's a dead end. Don't practice that. We get plenty of that. We want to practice the good stuff. However, I do want you to practice the opportunity that just slipped through your fingertips, where you start going in the direction of, oh, you do want to make a move. You're looking at something bigger. Oh, okay, great. Well, what would be the benefit of getting something bigger? You guys have outgrown the home. Okay, got it. Understood. But you guys are waiting for the interest rates to drop. I understand. I'm hearing that a lot, quite a bit. So, well, why don't we do this? Okay, Robert said. Okay, well, why don't we compare notes and we can go ahead and get together and see if it makes more sense to do it now versus doing it later? Oh, you just want to think about it? Okay, great. Well, what is it that you want to think about? Just about the interest rates? Okay, well, how does your wife feel about making the move? She wants to make the move too? Great. Well, let's get together. Would tomorrow at 3 o'clock, or would it be better for us to get together over on the weekend? Maybe first thing on Saturday moving forward. My point in that is that it was so close. You're right there. You're at the 96th, 97th, 98th percentile, just about to set an appointment, and then they just bailed. They were on the hook. You saw the fish, and they ended up, cutting the line. I want you practicing those. And if you don't have those, work on however close you can to those. Hopefully that makes sense. Okay. So instead of practicing the fake version, instead of practicing the negative version, I want you to practice the ones that you're getting the closest to. I also want you to practice the most common objections. Here's the one thing about objections that I'm going to share with you. This isn't the objections class. The average agent, okay, only gets 6 to 8 objections. Test me on this, okay? you're going to get on average 6 to 8 objections, calling all of the different sources. Okay. You're not going to get 30, you're not going to get 40, you're not going to get 50 different objections. You might get a wrinkle version of it, a different variation of it, but it's going to be almost the exact same 6 to 8. Why is this important? The more you practice and you learn to master those, the better you get. Well, what's one that probably everybody's going to get? How much is your commission? Anybody get that one ever before, other than 50 times? Okay. How about right now, the interest rates? We want to just wait until the interest rates drop. How about we're waiting for the market to crash? Anybody hear that one? Okay. I mean, we get those three probably, I don't know, 50% of the time. You guys see with what I'm saying? And because of this, I want you to practice that more often. So when somebody sits there and says, will you cut your commission? No, I'm sorry, I won't do that. That's just not with what I do. I'm not a discount broker. Well, the other agent said they would. What can I share with you why that actually makes me nervous? Well, why would that make you nervous? Well, here's the thing, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, is if the other agent is willing to give up on their money, their net worth, the money that they put the food on their table, the gas that they put in their car, that's their money. And if they already gave up on it, how strong are they going to be defending you and your money? But let me ask you this question. Was it easy or was it hard in regards to reducing that commission of theirs? Oh, they offered it. Well, I mean, how strong are they going to be defending you and the price that we've already set? They already gave up on their money. Why are they not going to give up on your money? Look, let's do the right thing. Okay. Obviously, I'm a little bit different from all the other realtors, and I want to share with you and I want to show you exactly what it is that I do. And then you can go to so many different variations. Practice that numerous times and then have variations to it. I have a driver response. I have an expressive response. I have a analytical response, and I have an amiable response. That's the doctrine of it, because it doesn't always work for everybody. Okay. I love apple pie, but not everybody loves apple pie. Some people are allergic to apples. Okay. So my point in that is you have to have some variety and some variation to that. Any questions, any comments, any concerns? Anything from, let's take a look, from YouTube or Instagram? Okay. Anybody here on Zoom?
I have a question.
Go ahead.
Oh, okay. I just have a question. Why are we taught to memorize the scripts verbatim and not like verbatim the way you say them with the little extra things
So it
that
depends.
make them flow better?
Yes and no, because here's the thing is that there is basically the basics, the foundation of the conversation. Now, with some people, you're going to be a little bit more on the bubbly side, and with other people, not quite so much. So you want to be able to be in a position where that's the internalization now, Shelly, because there are certain things that I do want you to put your own wrinkles. But when I say wrinkles, I'm talking about maybe a word here, maybe a chuckle there, but not an overhaul of the script. Because I do get people that all of a sudden I'm like, what in the world are you talking about? What does their cat have anything to do with this?
And
So,
like, for example,
mm,
on the script you just said where it says, yeah, it talks about an agent that will reduce their commission, how strong could they possibly be defending you on the price that you set on the home,
mhm.
versus you interject in there, well, did they go down on their commission right away or not? So that's not part of the script. So my question is, in the Mike Ferry scripts or in the scripts, why are we not memorizing to ask the question that you asked? The additional question, which is, oh, did they go down right away on their commission, or did it take a minute?
Yeah, because again, going back to the different personality styles.
Mhm.
Yeah, so every different personality style, and that's the same thing when it comes time to, which this isn't again the the prequel. So like in a prequel script, it's basically a foundation, and every conversation is going to be different. There's a difference between a family, of 4 kids that are all, young kids, versus speaking to somebody who has also 4 kids, but they're all have moved on and their last one is about to graduate. So there is variations to them. So that's the reason we don't want to have, because if not, we're going to have, 10, 12, 15 different templates of this. And then also, if you're talking to an investor, it's a way different topic. And if you're talking to somebody who's looking at retiring and going to, so there's so many variations to this, is my point. So to answer your question, Shelly, that's a very, very fair question. I think with what I would recommend for you is identify that, and I would encourage you, feel free to send them over to me. Hey, what do you think about this? And I'd be happy to do that. Okay. And I can go through and critique it. And I'll say, well, that's good, but you might not necessarily want to do this with this person. Okay. So, like as an example, with an expressive, if I go through and I say, "Will you please describe your home for me?" I can sit there and wait for about 6, 8, 10 minutes until they're done. Versus, Shelly, can you share with me your top 3 features of your home? Boom, I'm done in 60, 90 seconds. Because I already know they're going to say, "Oh my gosh, the kitchen's so amazing. I love the kitchen." As a matter of fact, when we put the kitchen together, we actually did this, we did that, we did that, all this stuff, and they're still in the kitchen, right? I go and ask a driver, what are the top 3 things? I'm not going to get enough. The kitchen, the bathroom, the backyard. Why? What's up? Okay, but what'd you do to the kitchen? So that's why there is a variation to that. Does that make sense? Yeah.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. I
Mhm.
was just using that different example when you interjected the
Mhm.
I think that's key on that one,
Yeah.
did it come down right away on their commission
Uh,
before you say, because an agent that comes down right away on their commission is not very strong on their price. So, if they're willing, like the way you interject that's a little bit different example, but I hear what you're saying.
Yeah, and it's just a variation is ultimately with what I'm getting at. And then Aqua, I appreciate the compliment as far as me being an actor. I don't know. I make a great salesperson as far as an actor is concerned. I've tried it. Goodness gracious.
You
Li-
would be amazing.
You have no idea. Lizette and I will go through. I don't know if you guys saw the recent video that we did. We went through like 27 takes, and it's not because of her. I'll tell you that. So, but let's go ahead and move on. I'm going to share the script here now. We're going to go ahead and break this down. I do need participation. It's really important. Okay. This is what makes this a little bit challenging at times because if I don't get the participation, we don't get as much out of this class as I'd like to. So let me go ahead and share script. We're going to work on at least the opening. And then this time I'd like to actually have some agents be the agents. So if I can get a volunteer, I'll go first, by the way. So that way we go ahead and get a little bit of that out of the way. Okay, so who wants to be my first volunteer? Be my consumer, my seller. Aqua, thank you so much. I appreciate you.
Okay. Yeah, I'll be the seller.
Oh, okay, good. Here we go. So ring ring.
Hello.
Hello, Aqua.
Yes. Who's this?
Aqua, my name is Robert. I'm a local realtor. Reason I'm calling is I just listed a beautiful home. It's right around the corner from me over on Banana Street. It has 4 bedrooms. It's 2 baths, and we have it listed at a great price of 700,000. I was curious, who do you know that wants to move here into our neighborhood?
Oh, I wasn't aware. Okay. Well, I really can't think of anybody right now.
Okay, well, hey, I really appreciate you even taking the time to think about it. Tell me, how about yourself? When are you planning on making that move?
No, I probably won't be. I'll probably stay put for a while.
Good. That's great. That's a great position to be in. How long have you lived at this address, by the way?
Oh, we've been here for about 25 years.
Oh, goodness. You guys have been there for some time. You definitely have some good equity, huh? Yeah. Where'd you guys move from?
Well, we've always stayed locally,
Uh-huh.
but we had to move closer to my job.
Okay. Okay. Got it. So 25 years ago, you moved locally closer to your job. Are you still working at the same place?
Yeah, and that's one of the reasons why we're
Uh,
not anticipating that I'll retire for another 5 years.
Okay. Got it. So possibly retiring in about 5 years. If you were to make a move in 5 years or even sooner than that, where would you consider making a move to next?
Oh, definitely Florida.
Wow. Well, what's taking you to Florida?
Just a change of environment, the weather,
Okay.
and we have family there.
Got it. Okay. So you got family, you have the weather there. What part of Florida are you considering?
Oh, Central.
Central. Okay, great. Now, separate from retirement, what would stop you from making the move now?
I can't make a move until I'm retired.
Got it. Okay, so it's basically just about retirement. Now, are you in a position where you could potentially retire here? Let me stop right here, which is perfectly fine because that's going to happen. Now, the reason I went in that direction is because every once in a while I do get somebody, as an example, I took one listing in particular that I can think of, almost the exact same scenario. The person said, "Well, I'm going to wait for another 5 years until I retire." Well, can you retire now? Well, yeah, I can retire now. Okay, well, what's the benefit of waiting out another 5 years before you retire? Well, if I wait another 5 years, I'm going to get another 5% on my pension. Oh,
Right.
okay, that makes sense. So if you get another 5% on your pension, how much money does that mean for you? Well, that's probably about a good another 600-700 bucks a month. Wow. Okay. So yeah, it definitely makes a whole lot of sense in regards to waiting it out. But let me do the math here real quick. So you're talking about 600-700 bucks. So you're talking about ultimately 7,500 a year. I'm not trying to kill you off, but the average life expectancy after retirement is about 10 years. So we're talking about $70,000 that you're really trying to recoup. Now, Aqua, if there's a way that I can help you get with your family here sooner rather than later so that you can enjoy the weather, be with your family, and I can show you the financial benefits of doing it now versus continuing to slave away for the next 5 years, would that be something of interest? Well, what do you mean? Okay. And then that's where I get that little crack in the window. And sometimes it happens, and other times it's like, yeah, no, I'm okay. Well, why don't we do this? Why don't I come by? Another appointment not too far from you. I'd love the opportunity to get to know you. And then next thing you know, maybe you're not a because again, I can be great, but sometimes our motivation just isn't quite there. And June 2025, doesn't happen. But guess what? Now we have a relationship. Now we stay in touch. Now I throw you in my database, and then now you're like, you know what? I don't want to wait. I want to retire now, And now here we go. Now you're a February of 2027 listing instead of a June of 2029 listing. That's all we're trying to do. We're trying to shorten that gap. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Cool. All right. Any questions? Anything that I can address? I want to go into another quick role play. No. All right. So let me get another volunteer. I'll be the agent again, and then after I go through, I'm just going to do the opening this time. I want agents to be able to participate.
I got you, Robert.
All right. Is it Jorge or George?
Jorge's fine.
Orale. There we go, Jorge. All right. So here we go. All right. So here we go. Ring, ring.
Hello.
Hello, Jorge.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. It's Robert. I'm a local realtor. The reason I'm calling is we just listed your neighbor's property over on Banana Street. It's a 4-bedroom, 2-bath home. We listed it at a great price of 500,000. Jorge, I was curious, who do you know that wants to move here into our neighborhood?
So, no, right now I can't really think of anybody right now.
Okay, can't think of anybody. I'm just gonna stop right there. What I want to showcase is between Aqua and Jorge is the pace. If you noticed, with Aqua was a little bit more relaxed, kind of like I can envision her sitting at her dining room table, having a little coffee, maybe getting caught up with the day, so on and so forth. And I can actually hear Jorge in a sense, whether he's at the gym or he's driving. He's on the go. There's something that's going on in his tone. I don't know if you guys heard that. So, and those are the little minor things that you want to be able to, in a sense, pick up. Okay, do we get that? So we want to look at who we are talking to. There's one thing that I say all the time. I want to be able to experience if I'm listening to you. Okay, if I'm sitting next to Jorge and he's on the phone, I can't hear the other person. I can only hear him talking because he's right next to me. I should be able to tell who he's talking to through him. And how do we do that? We do that by mirroring and matching. Okay, let me get a little bit of agent participation here real quick. So if I'm going through and I say, "Hi, Betty. Hi, Betty. Yeah, my name is Robert. I'm a local realtor. Yeah, I just listed a home for sale right around the corner from you, over on Banana Street. Yes, it has 4 bedrooms. It's 2 baths. Yeah, we listed it at a great price of 500,000. Okay, is it likely that I'm speaking to a person like Chad? Right? Is it likely that I'm speaking to, a 40, 45, 50-year-old dude that's like in the rush? Probably not. Who am I speaking to here?
Older, soft-spoken lady.
An older, soft-spoken, very peaceful lady, right? And the likelihood, how do I find that out? She probably, when the phone rings, she picks up, she goes, "Hello," right? Okay. What about this opening? I go through. Yeah, hey, John. John, yes, sir. Yeah, my name is Robert. I'm a local realtor. I just listed your neighbors. I'm going to be brief. I just listed your home right around the corner from you. It's over on Banana Street. It's a 4-bedroom, 2-bath home, and we listed at a great price of 500,000. John, I was curious, who do you know that wants to be our next neighbor. That's different, right? That's different from the one that I just did. But what do you guys do? What's the average realtor do? Copy, paste, copy, paste, copy, paste, copy, paste, copy, paste. And you guys are trying to get these 100 people and trying to get them to fit into that little tiny 7% box. Does that make sense? So you have to have a sense of variation. And the variation is what we call as versatility. And the versatility is we have to be able to hear who we are speaking with. I used to do a very good Asian accent, not to offend my Asian people. That's not what I'm trying to get at. Okay. Or even I could do a pretty decent Mexican accent. Okay. And I do say Mexican, excuse my Nicaraguenses, my Salvadoreños, my Brasileños, my Argenteños. Okay. So all of these, but I can speak really good Mexican. Okay. My point is you have to know who your audience is. And that's what we need to start to work on. Okay, so now I'm going to put it back over to the agent. I want to be able to get at least one, if not two role plays. Next week, we're going to do mostly role play of what we're doing on today. Okay, and this is what you get hung up on, by the way, right out the gate. For those of you guys that have the trouble and the challenge of getting hung up on right out the gate, this is why. Okay, because you're being you. You are not going to, you don't cut it. We need you to be them. Okay, so let me get an agent to participate. Let me get at least one opening. We might get 2 ins. Come on, who wants to go?
I go.
All right, let's do it, Sean.
I'm the agent?
You're the agent, yes, sir.
All right, ring, ring.
Hello.
Hello, Robert?
Yeah, who's this?
Oh, Robert, my name's Sean. I'm a local realtor. I'm
Uh-huh.
actually giving you a call because I just listed your neighbor's home for sale right over on Main Street.
Okay.
It's a 3-bedroom, beautiful, remodeled. Yeah, we're listed at 1.2. And Robert, my question for you is, who do you know that's looking to move into your neighborhood and potentially buy this home?
Well, I already have my home.
Oh, of course. No, I know you have a home. I was asking if you know any potential buyers that might be interested in being your new neighbor.
There we go. Okay, good. So awesome. Very, very good in terms of the mirroring and the matching. In the end, do we get that? I already have the home. It's almost like they're not paying attention. Oh, yeah, absolutely. I see here you're on Banana Street yourself. You're on 123 Banana Street. That's great. But my question to you, though, Sean, is who do you know? I almost get to the point where I'm like overemphasizing. Who do you know that wants to move here next to you? Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know of anybody. Okay, great. Well, you mentioned you live here in the area. You've been there. How long have you been there? Now you move on to the rest of the script. Okay. Does that make sense? Because we're going to get that. All right, let me get one more and we'll go ahead and wrap this thing up. We're going to do more of this. I want to get you guys super skilled up. Okay, so who wants to go next?
I'll go, Robert.
Declan, let's do it.
Okay. Ring, ring.
Hello.
Hello, Robert. This is
yeah.
Declan. I'm a local realtor with Real. I was just coming. I just listed a beautiful home right around the corner for you over on Applegate. 5 bedrooms, 3 baths, bedroom. It's listed for $650,000. And I was curious, Robert, who do you know that wants to move into our neighborhood?
All right, very good job. Good job. The one thing I'm going to say a little bit is on the variation for you. Well, let me back up. The beginning where, hi, Robert, allow me the opportunity to answer. Okay, it's kind of a normal, natural thing. So if you'll notice, it's a period versus a comma. And the purpose of that is just being able to say, yeah, I don't know who you are. Who is this? My name is, it's a natural thing. Okay. Second thing is I want to be able to have some variances. And the variances of our tonality, our pace, okay, the enunciations, our pronunciations, okay, and the way that we attack this is based on who we are speaking with. This is going to happen. This is all mastery stuff. Okay, this is the purpose of this class. I want to be able to get down to the nitty gritty because some of you that are getting hung up on right out the gates, not interested, not interested, not interested. We got to fix that. Okay. And for those of you that continue to get down the script, but you're just not setting any appointments, we got to fix that. And we're going to fix everything in between. I'm going to share with you why all of the middle questions, again, for those of you guys that are over on Instagram and over on YouTube, you got to come join us over on Zoom. Okay. Because you guys can't see the script. I'm going to share with you why these questions are important. Okay. Because a large percentage of you, 6, 7, 8 out of 10 of my coaching clients brush over them. And then I tell them why. And then we go back, oh, that's why we do that. Okay, I don't want you guys doing that. All right, everybody. Again, for those of you that are in the Central Valley, those of you that are close to Fresno, anywhere near, I'm going to be doing a speaking engagement today for NAREP. Okay, Lizette's going to be there with me. She's another one of the speakers. So we're going to be talking about making more money. We're going to be talking about wealth building. We're going to be talking about anything that has to do with making more money. So if you don't need more money, it's totally cool. You don't have to come. But if you're in a position where you're wanting more information about wealth building, wanting more information about NAREP, if you're in the Fresno area, feel free. Okay, come on by. So thank you guys for being here. I'll see you guys next Tuesday, 7:30. And then, one more invitation. I forgot I have back-to-back engagements. I'm going to be speaking to Sherman Oaks on Monday. If you want more information, I'm going to be in Sherman Oaks Monday. I'm going to be doing a class. I think it's at 10 o'clock. It's mid-morning. But feel free to send me a DM. I'll see you guys later. Let's go take a listing or 5. And let's make it happen. I'll see you guys soon. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Robert.
You're welcome. All right, everybody. I'll see you guys. Hopefully get the opportunity to make it out, whether that be in Fresno today or in Sherman Oaks on Monday. But I'm going to encourage you to continue to come join us. And thank you for tuning in. I'm going to encourage you again. You got to come join us over on Zoom because I always share the script. I'll see you guys soon. Thank you.